I'm bringing May 24th meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let me erase some stuff here. Okay, we have two sets of minutes to act upon. The first is the May 10th, 2021 work session meeting minutes. Is there a motion or?
Make a motion to accept the minutes from the May 10th work.
Okay. Ted moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Neil.
Right.
No,
No
Zach
second.
beat me.
Second. Okay, missed it.
Okay, any discussion? Seeing none, Mary Ann, you vote?
Aye.
Zach?
Aye.
Neil?
Aye.
Ted?
Aye.
Bill? Aye. Second set of minutes are from our May 10th, 2021 regular meeting minutes. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Mary Ann moves
Second.
and Neil seconds. Any discussion? Seeing none, Ted, your vote.
Aye.
Neil?
Aye.
Zach?
Aye.
Mary Ann?
Aye.
Bill? Aye. I've had it. Select Board will meet on the following dates. Our regular meetings will be at 6 p.m. The next one is Monday, June 14th, 2021. And then the one after is on June 28th. Work sessions prior to the regular meeting will start at 5 p.m. And all the above meetings will be held via Zoom, and you can find dial-in information on the town's website at plymouth-nh.org. Citizens wishing to be listed on the Select Board's agenda should notify the Town Hall before 12 noon, the Friday before the scheduled meeting. Town offices will be closed on Monday, May 31st in observance of Memorial Day. The Plymouth Memorial Day Parade will be held at 10:30 a.m. Lineup begins at 10 a.m. at the National Guard Armory. And if you plan to attend, please follow the guidelines in that if you are not vaccinated, masks and social distancing are required. Reopening of town offices. The town of Plymouth continues to follow the governor's orders and CDC updates and recommendations very closely regarding COVID-19. As of May 7th, 2021, State of Emergency Order 2021-08 extends Executive Order 2020-04 until May 28, 2021. Town offices are looking to open their doors on Tuesday, June 15th, 2021. Please continue to check our website and Facebook page for up-to-date planning and information. And if you need something, please don't hesitate to call the Select Board's office at 536-1731 from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and the Town Clerk's office at 536-1732 at 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. and the Tax Collector's office at 536-4733 on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings at 8 to 2 p.m. Chairman's comments. The Select Board has voted to lift the town's mask ordinance. The Select Board supports businesses that continue to require masks in their establishments and encourage all to continue to observe the safety guidelines designed to slow the spread of the coronavirus, including social distancing, proper hand washing, and mask wearing for those not yet vaccinated, and even for those that are vaccinated, if you so choose. We ask that you please consider getting your vaccine today. The Select Board has the right to reenact the face mask ordinance if necessary. And the Select Board appreciates the consideration and the cooperation of our residents during this very difficult time. We have plenty of time. Okay. The next item, prior to a public hearing that we're going to have at 6:15, is to accept the letter of resignation from Patrice Scott. And I'd like to read that, if that's okay. Dear Bill, Mary Ann, Neil, Zach, and Ted, I am heartened to see the light at the end of the tunnel breaking through, and to learn that our town offices will soon be reopened to the public. When I was asked last year to seek reappointment to the ZBA, I was a little reluctant to oblige, as I am a firm believer in term limits, and I had already served 3 terms. Nonetheless, I agreed, as we have historically had trouble attracting even alternates, let alone new members to the ZBA, and that situation was not expected to improve with ever-changing COVID restrictions in place. Now that we are back on course to resume some semblance of normalcy, I would ask that you appoint a new member to fill out my term. I have completed a full 10 years as the default chairman of the ZBA, and I'm happy to report that I feel very comfortable stepping off the board now that we have a highly qualified town planner at the helm. June will continue to provide clear, expert guidance to both the planning board and the ZBA in her enviable, calm, measured fashion. I am the legal guardian for 2 developmentally disabled sisters who still live in New Jersey. This sometimes requires me to travel out of state unexpectedly to support their needs. This last year, their agencies have basically been on lockdown, but things are opening up again, and I would like to be able to visit them as well as our grandchild more freely. Thank you for understanding and for the privilege of serving the people of Plymouth in this capacity. Yours very truly, Patrice. Very nice letter, and also encouraging people to volunteer for the Zoning Board of Adjustment. It's good to volunteer for town offices, I tell you.
I'd like to show appreciation for Patrice's integrity and her dedication and the years of service she's given our town.
Thanks, Neil. Any other comments? Scott, I don't mean to put you on the spot right off the bat, but could you provide an emergency management director update in 7 minutes?
Sure. Really, the only other thing to report on is the hazard mitigation plan. We had a meeting last Wednesday. We are just about done with updating. We have added some problem statements with regards to cybersecurity, demonstrations, public health emergencies, and we're still working through those to put the language in place. Our hope is at our next meeting, we will finalize that. We will review our final document and have something ready in the month of July. Our next meeting is on June 16th, Wednesday at 9 a.m. But that's the only other update I have at this time.
Okay, Scott, you're gonna have to pad this a little bit, I think, but
Can Josie give you something? in
yeah,
7 minutes?
actually, yeah, we can. Josie, do you want to do your discussion?
Sure, why not? Then I can have dinner earlier than I expected. Well, Steve, I think Steve's on this call now. Steve Whitman.
Yep.
Oh,
he's there.
he is. Okay. All right. So first of all, I just wanted to thank you guys for meeting with Steve and I to discuss the Beautification Committee. I think the board should have received an outline that details the steps that the committee would like to take to implement some of our ideas. Included in this outline is also a mission statement and some of our projected goals. I guess I'm happy to read the statement for anyone who's tuning in, if that's okay with the board.
Please.
Yeah. So the mission statement is: founded in 2021, the Plymouth Beautification Committee of Plymouth, New Hampshire consists of residents and business owners who are united by an interest in gardening and a desire to beautify the town of Plymouth. The mission of the committee is to preserve the natural aesthetic of the area, to further members' interest in and knowledge of gardening and flower design, and to participate in civic beautification and to promote environmental education. So, this started, Steve and I, as well as a lot of other Plymouth residents, are passionate about maintaining the natural attributes of this community, as well as beautifying the various corners, sections of Plymouth. Our plan, if you look at the outline, our plan includes taking visual inventory of areas that have greenery, for example, foot traffic and passage by vehicles or, public visitation, assessing and utilizing available resources, building community connections, which will be really big for us, and then also implementing our ideas that enforce these goals. And I'm not sure if Steve, did you want to go over our goals that we established?
Sure.
Yeah.
You want me to read them?
Sure.
So the ones we came up with initially were fostering civic pride through the care and improvement of our shared community spaces. And I think we all can recognize how many folks, talented folks and knowledgeable folks there are in town, if given the opportunity to help adopt a location, collaborate with other people on a Saturday morning. We'd like to give them the opportunity to do that. Increase native plantings to add beauty and support biodiversity. Identify opportunities for public art and placemaking efforts that reinforce Plymouth's identity. Build on the ecotourism destination resolution, which the board has been very supportive of, and inform and support future infrastructure improvements, of which you all know we have some big ones coming up. And so if there are things that we can do to help with that, we thought those were the goals to start with. And if the board supported this initiative and we get other folks to participate, the goals can always evolve as needed.
Yeah, absolutely. And so far it's been great. There's been some interested volunteers who have contacted the office. One of them has a master's in gardening. She recently just received her master's degree in that. And also Little Gardens Everywhere recently reached out as well. They support the community garden that's in the area. And so one of our conversations when Steve and I met is the discussion of walkability. For example, I know in the upcoming year, Main Street's going to there's going to be work on Main Street, work on the water line. So how can we beautify Main Street, work on what resources we have to increase the walkability so the stores see less of an impact because there's going to be less parking available for those, the stores on Main Street. So it's just some of the ideas that we have right now. But we wanted to meet with the board to see, what the board thinks, if you have any suggestions. We also invited Larry Gibson to be here, the Park and Rec director, in case he also had any ideas. He's been very supportive of this so far. So this is where we're at the moment.
Well, it's pretty exciting. And unfortunately, 6:14. Larry, do you have a quick comment on? Hate to put you in the spot like that, but
I just wanted to say, Josie and Steve are looking forward to working with them. It's an aggressive agenda. I think it's a great plan ahead, and it's something that we need. We need assistance. Parks and Recreation need help. We maintain the islands, town hall, town common. There's just so many other areas in town that need to be maintained. The question is manpower, funding, things like that. So I think it's a great start. As I said, I think the agenda is aggressive. I just think we start small. Let's accomplish some things and then snowball and move forward. So, Josie, thank you. Steve, thank you.
Yeah, and I know you guys have a public hearing at 6:15. Do you want us to continue on after?
it's up to you.
Well, I know that if it's okay with the board.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and that's part of our conversation too, of taking inventory to see what resources we already have at our fingertips. Part of our discussion is that we're actually really lucky because Plymouth is a quaint, beautiful college town. We have the university here, which is a resource. And one of the areas that we do want to work on would be one of our first projects would be the Rotary. That's been a little conversation in the community lately, is how can we beautify areas where people pass through as soon as they come into town. So that's a conversation that we'd like to have with the school. But definitely looking at what resources we have, who is in the community who can help us, and getting more people on board, but definitely starting small and aiming big.
Very good, Josie. Thanks. And it is 6:16.
Oh, okay.
And I'm opening a public hearing. The public hearing is, actually, the Plymouth Selectboard welcomes all present for this public hearing to discuss increasing parking meter fees to an amount comparable with other towns. The proposal is to increase fees to $1 an hour. And I shall take public comment at this point. And actually, Steve, do you want to, just provide a brief overview of, it's not as simple as just increasing fees to $1, but that's what we're going to be addressing, at least with this first action of the board.
Okay. Like I said, how we came up with that number is we asked for a survey from different towns. It was actually 12 different towns answered us. And what I did is there were some that were a little bit lower than $1 an hour and some that were higher. So we went kind of middle ground with that. That's where we came up with that number. The other thing I can say is that we've had, I've been with the town. I'm going to be going into my 28th year coming up here. And I can't recall the last time we had an increase. So it's been, 27 going on 28 years since we've had a meter increase at all. The other thing, how we got there too, just to remind the board and everybody here, is that, we're always telling everybody in town, taxes, we have a revenue problem here. And we're always encouraged by the board to come up with new ideas to increase revenues. I thought it was well past time when I took over as chief. I've been bringing this up every year since. I figured this was a perfect year to bring it up because we didn't really get any traction up until now. But I think it's well past the time to increase the price of meters.
Okay, thanks, Steve. Is there any public input? Any comments from the general public? Is there no hand raising, I guess, huh?
Not one, nope.
The general public in our vicinity? Yes.
I'm happy to say something.
Frank is approaching the microphone.
Okay.
I stand in support of this increase. The cost of maintaining a parking system is getting expensive. The cost of the meters, cost of maintaining our parking structure as we have in the downtown area cost is rising. So we need to move forward with a revenue that tries to maintain the return on investment to the town through the cost of various departments to maintain a parking system. So this increase is timely and I think most appropriate for something that everybody looks forward, and that's parking. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank Miller, Plymouth resident. Josie, did you want to say something? Or
I'm in support of it. Everything Frank said is everything that was on the tip of my tongue.
thank you.
Is it okay to ask a question?
Of who? Of
I'm curious as to whether or not a person who wants to park downtown can buy a fraction of an hour for less than $1.
No,
No, it's,
and they can't now either. So that doesn't change.
So no matter what, it's a minimum of $1.
Correct. Yep. You got to put 25 cents. It's 25 cents for an hour now.
Okay. Looking at that, but that's
Have the merchants, you know, have the merchants voiced concern? I think Mary Ann could probably answer that better than I could. How do the
So the
merchants?
business owners were informed. I have not heard any feedback whatsoever. We certainly, and we would all agree, we have a parking issue downtown. And to keep things moving and to afford parking enforcement, I think it's necessary.
Yeah, Mary Ann, you asked me, you emailed me a question about what I thought about, would it increase, stay the same? Would we lose money, whatever? You know, it's definitely going to increase. And I did some rough numbers based on it was difficult to do last year's numbers because of COVID. We didn't have many people parking downtown or visiting downtown. But I did the 2018, 2019 numbers. I took those and kind of rough. And again, this is rough because of the money we brought in that year. The total was 119, 850.35 for parking. Based on the new figure, again, this is best case scenario. Not we're gonna make all this money. Best case scenario, we would bring in with the new numbers based on that year's. Would be $226,446 in revenue.
And that's subtracting all the new fees and, you know, for paying for the app and credit card fees.
There's no, no, that's why I said best case scenario. I didn't get into everything. That's just the increases on everything. That's why I said I didn't, because to get into that is going to take, I just sat down and did this math during the last work session and did it on a piece of paper in front of me. So, but I didn't get into like exact numbers because it would be hard. It would be hard to tell because you don't know. Are we going to have another bad year? We're going to have another good year. Are people going to use the meters? They're not going to use the meters. Then we have all the construction going on downtown. So it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be another difficult year to determine usage as far as that goes. But I think in long term, it's definitely going to help us and increase the revenue coming in from the parking enforcement. And I think it's long overdue.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out if it was a wash or not, because it's going to cost more to maintain the, you know, the new way we're going to put up meters and whatnot. So there's new fees, credit card fees. Does that wash out the increase in revenue, put us back to the same place?
No, it will not. It will definitely not. It's definitely an increase.
Great.
Are we making any changes to the hours of enforcement, or is that still effectively unchanged?
It's basically the same. You know, we do try and every now and then when we can rotate his hours. Like I said, it's difficult to do because we still need him for easier in the summertime because we still need him for school crossing in the morning and school crossing in the afternoon. So it's difficult to change his hours around because he has a multiple use with his job in that aspect.
Will the new system make the enforcement easier for him?
It'll definitely make it easier for him. You know, if we go to that park mobile app, I think it would make it much easier because now he's looking at, you know, we stopped chalking tires. He's taking pictures of cars. Now he can just go on to log on and see who's parked where, you know, and be able to tell how many people are parked wherever and how many people have their time has expired. I do want to touch on, because I know somebody made a comment last meeting when we talked about, you know, the app will actually remind you when your time expires. And they're like, well, I don't think we want the college kids, you know, re-upping their time and being reminded. We want turnover. Well, the app does that too. What the app does is if you've been in that spot for more than 2 hours, it will not let you renew. It won't let you buy it again. Like, no, you have a 2-hour limit there. So it helps in that. It helps with the turnover and getting more people downtown as well.
But you mentioned that they also have the ability to pay with a coin.
With coin, yeah. The meters are still going to stay where the meters are. those are still going to stay in place there.
So they would be able to get more time if they paid by using currency.
Correct. If they're doing that, which they're doing now, which we would still have to do it the old-fashioned way, take a picture of the vehicle and see how long it's been there for. So yes. But I think, we're talking long-term now. I'm not talking 1-2 years, long-term out. I think you're going to see most places are going to go just to like a virtual meter and an app type of thing long-term from now, which will kind of work its way out eventually. But you're several years out on that.
I went to the Park mobile app webpage and read all their information, and it is quite the effective tool if that's the way we go. So
yeah, I liked it. We researched in the committee that we had, we researched a bunch of them, and that seems to be the best one and the one willing to do the most, to help you out with marketing and to get the people to park there and signage and everything else. They provide all of that for free because they know if we don't make money, they don't make money. So they provide all that for free.
Can we make a donation to the Beautification Committee, perhaps?
I don't know. I could ask.
Never hurts.
Are you going to increase the number of meters on South Main Street?
I don't have any plan to do that. And as far as I thought, Bill, we were just talking about the current stuff we have now. We were going to go with, and if we were going to expand any further, we would have a different discussion about it. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yep.
Okay.
The same thing with the electronic parking meters or whatever you decide. This public hearing should only be for the purpose of increasing the fees as the board sees fit.
Okay.
All right.
And again, this would take time also, and this isn't going to happen overnight because we also got to get the equipment to be able to reprogram the meters and everything else like that. So all the meters we have now it would take some time to get there.
Do you think it would be done by July 1, Steve?
I don't know the answer to that. It depends on the availability of, would have to purchase a tool to be able to reprogram the meters. It all depends on the availability of that very specific tool. Because there's two ways we can do it. We can pay the company to come up and reprogram all the meters, which makes no sense to me, or you just buy the tool and then they teach you virtually how to reprogram the meters, and we do it ourselves. And that way we always have the tool, and then if we need to increase or decrease or whatever from there, we can reprogram the meters ourselves.
And thinking revenue.
I know, I'm thinking revenue and when I can count it.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I get it.
Okay. Any other comments? Or public comments? And seeing none. Okay, it's 6:29, and I'm bringing it back to closing the public hearing and bringing it back to the board. Any comments? Any more comments from the board? Seeing none. Yes. I'm looking to Ann for the perpetual prompts, but we need a motion to, go forward with either accepting the $1 an hour increase to $1 an hour for our
I
downtown.
make a motion that we increase the parking fee to $1 an hour.
Okay, Zach
I'll
moved.
second that.
Mary Ann seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none. Ted, your vote.
Aye.
Neil.
Aye.
Zach.
Aye.
Mary Ann.
Aye.
Bill. Aye. Very good.
Thank you to Steve for bringing that forward.
Yeah, thanks,
Finding
Steve.
creative revenue increases, we appreciate that.
I'm trying.
Keep going.
Okay, Josie and Steve, or Steve, you would like to continue?
Yeah. Sure. So, where did we leave off? Yep. So, we want to assess what we have in this community, but also look at what other communities are doing. We've looked at other towns like, Bristol, for example. I know, Steve, you had looked at a few others in the southern part of the state. But, just look at visual examples of flowers, banners, light post hangings, art. We'd like to have subcommittees for gardening, cleanup. So like, Tenny Mountain, for example, Tenny Mountain Highway. Throughout the year, we tend to see trash that builds up on the side. So we could have a committee that cycle, like maybe a few times a month, goes out to clean up trash. Art installment, we had a local photographer. She has a local business in town. Is her name Lynn Mitchell?
Asking me?
I assumed someone would know her name.
Mondi Mitchell?
Mondi Mitchell, yes. She recently, last summer, she had an outdoor gallery, but things like that, things that bring a smile to people's faces, make people want to stop. Part of our possibly course of action plan would be having Friday flowers, for example, something so simple, just encouraging community members to display flowers on their private property. Obviously in a college town, recommending that they probably take those flowers in at night, but having something small in some towns, I've driven through Goffstown, New Hampshire before, and they have pink flamingos in every yard. And pink flamingos, the purpose of those are to support a charity. Just so simple things. There's simple ways where we can just see results and make people happier, make people want to stop and really take advantage of what this community has to offer.
Thanks, Josie.
Yeah, I guess I would add, based on Larry's comments, that if the board is supportive of this initiative, that maybe Josie and I could meet with Larry and others who are here tonight who might be interested to maybe learn a little bit more from him about where he sees the greatest need and where they have existing limitations. And then when we pull together a meeting of interested folks, as Josie has suggested, probably someday at the amphitheater, to tell them about it and see what their interest is, at least we'll have kind of a backbone of ideas of things we want to work on. But we're hoping that there'll be lots of different ways people can find to contribute and show their civic pride and, make our community continue to be a beautiful place.
Thanks, Steve. Frank, you want to make a comment?
Frank Miller. I'm working right now at the Green Street substation parking lot. I'm cleaning that area up, trash, brush. And what you may not know is the river gauge is going to have an anniversary coming June, and the USGS has come in and cleaned up and put up new signs for that ceremony in June. I'm trying to clean up the rest of the area because it's been basically neglected. It is a confluence of our multi-state trail. The riverfront program we had in '95, and that was something that I'm trying to get done here in this next week. So when they come to take pictures of that river gauge, it doesn't look like the town has forgotten the rest of the area around it. So I'm trying to clean up the parking lot and that walkway area. And so if there's anyone that is interested in working, I'm down there doing it myself, free of charge, just trying to get something moving. It could be it's our front door, and it is a resource that we're trying to enhance for ecotourism, and that whole area in front of the riverfront walk area needs help, but I'm focusing on the area right around the river gauge area because they are going to be taking pictures of it here on that ceremony. And I would like to make it a picture that looks like we haven't forgotten the rest of the environment around there. So,
Absolutely.
project. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Frank, I mean, you know, a lot of people really admire you and your hard work. And, you know, if you want to stop by the town hall, or I can swing by, you know, Chase Street and try to find you, I'd love to help out this week. I'm sure Steve would like to help. And, you know, between the two of us, we have a community where we could find people to come out and help this week as well.
And you obviously know a couple of like go-to people too, like Steve Rand has done this before. So obviously him and Doug McLean. I mean, you know, I'm sure he'd love to be involved too, but I'm sure you'll find a whole bunch of people that would like to get into this. So you're seeking, I guess, the go-ahead or the approval of the board's.
Just your blessing.
Okay. Is there a movement to bless Josie and Steve? Is there a motion rather?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Ted moves, Neil seconds. Any discussion? Mary Ann, you vote.
I give my blessing.
Thank you.
Zach?
Aye.
Neil?
Aye.
Ed?
Aye.
Bill? Aye. Well, it's a great idea. Thanks very much for going forward with this.
Thank you. Thanks for meeting with us.
Yeah, thanks for the support. We'll report back.
Good, very good.
Bye, everyone.
Okay. We have any public comments on issues discussed on tonight's
How
agenda?
about committee reports?
We're gonna do it. Oh, did I jump over it already? Oh, yeah, I did. Well, before we get to committee reports, I'm just going to read this. There is, the New Hampshire Food Bank is coming to town, and you'll need to save the date for an upcoming mobile food pantry. And this is going to be Wednesday, May 26th. That's only a couple days from now, from 12 noon to 2 p.m. while supplies last. It's going to be at the Walmart parking lot at 683 Tenny Mountain Highway in Plymouth. And the New Hampshire Food Bank will bring truckloads of food to distribute to families and individuals. And this is going to be a drive-through event, and all items will be distributed to you in your vehicles. And it's part of the New Hampshire Food Bank Feeding America program. So you'd want to put that in your calendar, please.
Can you tell us when the date and time is again?
Sure, the date is the day after tomorrow. It's Wednesday, May 26th, from noon to 2 at the Walmart parking lot. Okay. Now we have committee reports. Does anyone have a report?
So an exciting time at the planning board meeting once again. Let's see, this past week, a couple of subdivisions were approved. One on Tenny Mountain Highway. The gentleman right across from Yetton Way, that was approved, a subdivision there. That's been going on for quite some time. Some work being done at Hitchner Road. I forget the gentleman's name. He wants to put in some storage units, self-storage units there. So good discussion around that. We'll be doing a site walk next meeting. I forget what it is, 5th or 3rd, or something along those lines.
Eric Miller or Eric something?
Yes, very good. Yeah. Yes. And then a site plan review where the old, jeepers, what was the name of it? At the end of Boulder Point, where the furniture store was, they've since moved. But the folks at Boulder Point are going to take that over for a childcare facility.
Yeah, Sears, the old Sears building, the initial Sears.
That was before my time.
country furniture or whatever.
Cozy cabins.
Yeah. Very good. Cozy cabins. Yes, they're going to turn that into, I think it's about 60 kids that they'll be able to work with.
And Cozy Cabins moving down to where, what was it? Not Fred Medora. What's the car place? Down Tenny Mountain Highway.
Yeah,
Across
by O'Reilly's.
O'Reilly's?
By
Oh,
O'Reilly's.
yeah, right next door to O'Reilly's.
Yeah, I've seen that sign.
On the topic of that childcare facility, I was honestly a little surprised that the zoning board approved that childcare facility going in there. I didn't ever get a chance to review the minutes, but I'm not sure why they did. But especially as the chief of police starts thinking about there's only like 10 parking spots there. They're gonna have 60 kids. I think about like annual graduations or any recognitions. Like traffic is going to become a real problem in that area.
Yeah, it's certainly going to have to be monitored because, as you said, or as June pointed out, any sort of celebration will be difficult. Clearly they can't park on Tenny Mountain Highway, but some enforcement there for a little bit, I would imagine.
Yep.
I would agree with you guys. Okay, thanks, Mary Ann. Any other committee reports? Well, Neil, I hate to steal your thunder because I'm on the same thing too, but the Pemberton River Local Advisory Committee is going to meet tomorrow night. So this is a pre-committee report. And we're going to have a couple of guests at our meeting. Ken Evans from, Rotary, but also Friends of the PEMI. He's going to provide an overview of the almost decades-long projects that the Friends have been pursuing on both the east and west sides of Livermore Falls. On the east side, you've got a new state park with swimming and a beach, and then on the west side, it's going to be more historic use of those properties, but they're also going to be clearing trees and creating parking area just for people to take part of on that side as well. We're also going to have, and actually there's 2 reappointments. We have Kathleen DeWolf from Ashland and also Lisa Donor. As of today, I just got her reappointment to the, PERLAC as well. And we have 2, or actually 3 projects that we're actually maintaining the status of. One is a new one from Eversource, and they're going to be rebuilding an existing 10.6 mile long electric transmission line that starts from the Webster substation in Franklin to the PEMI substation in New Hampton. And we're going to have a couple of Eversource staff members available for questionnaires, or at least we're going to determine the extent of how they're going to assure that best management practices are going to be maintained throughout their traverse of wetlands and such. And this next one is kind of close to home. We're going to have field engineering. They're going to be preparing a bank erosion correction for Mike Ahern's property, the Glove Hollow Tree Farm. And what they're going to do is put in local vegetation, trees, to stabilize the bank that's been eroding for, I guess, many years. So that's going to occur probably in August, and we have some questions that we are going to receive answers from. And one thing, I'm going to be looking at a status of Owl's Nest request to pull PEMI water for their 10-acre pond. They have a lined 10-acre pond up in Owl's Nest, and they're going to draw all the water for that pond from the PEMI starting probably late summer. So that's kind of interesting, actually.
You say 10-acre pond?
10-acre pond, yep. I don't know how many millions of gallons it's going to be. Actually, the permit actually states a million, like 3 million gallons, something like that. But they're going to be pumping a lot.
Yeah, there's a question as to whether or not they can pump enough water from the river to keep up with the evaporation rate of the surface of the pond.
Yeah, I think, well, the permit's only for this initial fill. You know, it's not for further pulling from the river.
Yeah.
And they also have water sources in their facility, so they should be able to top things off, you know, every once in a while. We'll see. Anyway, that's it from me. Zach or Ted?
I have a question. That meeting tomorrow night, is that going to be on Zoom?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's on the agenda, the link.
School board hasn't met since our last meeting.
Any other, once again, public comment? No public comment? Okay. All right. In that case, we're going to have to go into deal with a couple of non-public items. And I need a motion. And what? And tell me which one.
A and C.
A and E.
A and D.
A and E.
And E.
E.
I move that we go into non-public session in accordance with RSA 91A:32 A and E.
Okay.
Second.
Zach moved. Neil seconded. Ted, your vote.
Aye.
Neil.
Aye.
Mary Ann.
I
Zach.
Aye.
Bill. Aye. We're non-public.